All right, welcome to another intermission report. The Wild now trailing 3-1 to the Vancouver Canucks after two periods. I am Brandon Mileski. Pat Micheletti is with me. I had Roma with me. She has since been scared off by me talking. She probably just wants to go to bed.
You were scared off by me, maybe.
She's probably going to start barking when she sees something outside. So we might have to deal with that kind of adversity, just like the Wild have to deal with some adversity now, Pat.
Yeah.
Down 3-1, giving up 2 goals that period.
Yeah. Obviously, not a good play by Galchenyuk at the blue line. Colossal mistake there led to a goal, and then Brock Besser. You can't leave him alone, and he was left alone. And really good play by Pettersson, though, to tip that puck over to him from the shot from the point, and Besser was right there on the doorstep. So, Vancouver took advantage of a couple mistakes and have the lead.
Yeah, part of the new Dean Evason type aggressiveness with the defenseman stepping up in the offensive zone sometimes is when a defenseman does move up in the play, once you're in the zone, the forwards can't turn the puck over, and that's what Galchenyuk did. That was just a terrible turnover and put the team in a tough spot there. While you talk, I'm going to go let out my dog quick. You talk for a little bit. Hold on.
And what Galchenyuk was trying to do, I mean, you applaud him for trying to make a play, but you got to know what areas of the ice you're on and what protection you have back. And, he lost control of the puck at the blue line. Probably should have just thrown it back down low and didn't do it. That was an easy play, the safe play, and, didn't execute it. So that was costly. No question. But that being said, not much, as we saw in game one. The top 6 forwards for Vancouver were shut down by Minnesota. Well, tonight, the top line for Minnesota has been non-existent. Fiala, Stahl, Greenway, they virtually have done nothing to help the cause from Minnesota tonight.
You brought up the point I was just going to bring up of you are always a proponent of saying your stars got to be stars.
Yeah.
And on Vancouver's standpoint, in that period, JT Miller scores a goal. Pettersson, I think Pettersson intended to redirect that shot.
No doubt.
Right to Besser. I mean, that line has showed up, and Fiala. If we don't really have too much for star power, Fiala would be considered that. He has not showed up. I did see a shift there where Parise was up on the line with Stahl and Fiala. I'm assuming something like that might happen in the third period, down 2 goals here.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at the second line with Parise, Eriksson, and Cunnin, and right now Zuccarello's not going. I mean, he's non-existent. Galchenyuk made that mistake. Okay, but they are 2 more on the offensive side of the puck, right? They play more that style. I would put them up with Parise on that second unit and try to generate. You're down 2 goals. What do you have to lose? And I would try to get some offense out of that. You still have Cunnin, Eck, and Foligno as a formidable third that can maybe get the forecheck going and try to create a dirty goal. So we'll see what changes are made, if any.
Yeah, the power play in this game 0 for 4 with only 6 shots on goal. It's been a struggle with the extra man, and I would think Vancouver would be a little bit more disciplined here in the third period up too. So might not get too many more opportunities, though. The Wild did show towards the end of that second period they were getting a lot more aggressive. Of course, being down 2 goals, so maybe that aggressiveness can also force some penalties as well.
Well, they'll start the third with the power play penalty at the end of the period, so that is that's helpful. And I would just get shots on goal. Obviously, they haven't done that. They need to generate more shots on the power play, and it looked like they were trying to get a little bit too cute, try to make the perfect pass. When you don't have that going, you get pucks on net and try to get a sneak one by them.
And the Wild will start the penalty with a power play, so a good opportunity to cut that deficit to 1 early in the period. Matt Johnson wants to know, would you consider putting Dubnyk in for the third?
I don't know how you blame Stalock. My only thought would be, get him some minutes. But, hey, listen, they score early. It's a 1 goal game. So you're right in it. Alex is not certainly doesn't deserve to be pulled, in my opinion. But probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, I would not. I would not as well. I don't think Stalock has really been that bad in this game.
No,
The first one even you could say is a little soft, but that was still a good shot as well. It was still a well placed shot. The JT Miller one was off the post and in.
yeah,
The third one is a redirect right in front of him, and Besser's on the back door. I mean, he can't do anything about that. Though, Greg Swedberg, who's a great elite hockey mind, wants to know: Doobie on Thursday or Kakkonen?
Stalock. I mean, I don't know how you blame, like you said, you explain the goals. I don't have to. You've got to stick. Listen, he won game one. He was terrific. Okay, let's say he's not his best tonight. Well, a lot of guys aren't their best tonight either. So, listen, there's one period to go. They get one on the power play. They can fight their way back into this thing, and it's a long 20 minutes.
To your point, though, let's say this game gets out of hand early on. Let's say, Vancouver scores within the first couple minutes, and you're down 3 goals. Given Dubnyk has not played in 4 or 5 months, it would make sense. Just
Absolutely.
not even a slight towards Stalock, just to get Dubnyk some minutes in case you need him at some point.
Absolutely. Yep, I agree wholeheartely.
Zach Fisher says too much passing. Do you agree?
Well, yeah. I think he's right. I think you're trying to get too cute. Where their game is grind, right? Minnesota won the other night because their forecheck was on. They were grinding, and they did what they had to do. They defended then, and the puck wasn't in the wild zone that often. Tonight, it appears to me that they're trying to get a little too cute. All the cute goals, and it's not working. At least not for the first line, anyway.
By the way, I'm getting some messages saying it's going to be 4-on-4 to start the third. Apparently, Spurgeon got an interference as well. Obviously, when we have television announcers that are following the game from Minnesota, it's hard to get a lot of the penalty stuff. It's hard to figure out. And I have not been on Twitter following Russo or anyone else since this period started. So we appreciate some people sending us the messages. I do want to talk about the Wild almost had 2 shots at breakaways in that period. You had Eriksson Ek, who got caught by Virtanen on the shorthanded opportunity, and Dumba had a chance at getting Stahl on a stretch pass there, and it was almost like the pass got airborne a little bit.
Yeah,
but unfortunate that they really almost had two chances at some pretty good scoring chances there.
Well, and we talk about, and here's a perfect example of Eriksson Ek, right? Yes, Virtanen caught him. However, he was, I would have still taken that to the net and tried to get pulled down, or at least try to get a shot on goal. Now he pulled up. The only time you want to pull up there, in my opinion, is if you know that you've got a trailer coming and you can feed them. But in that particular case, he stole the puck at the blue line. It was him, and then Virtanen catching up to him. But I would have, for as big and strong as he is, I would have tried to continue skating towards the net, or at least get a backhander off. I know he was on his backhand.
Where are we at on? I know you mentioned Matt Zuccarello earlier in this intermission. When they made that signing, I wasn't a fan of the size of the contract, the dollar amount, and the amount of years. Right. But that being said, I've always liked him as a player. I always thought he was kind of like a little jitterbug, energetic, kind of a gnat. And I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of that from him this year in terms of being a pest on the ice.
No, and now that he's on the third line, now your minutes go down a little bit, and he hasn't played a lot. Okay. Whether it be because of power plays and penalty kills or whatever the case may be. I thought he had a couple good shifts in the first period. He seemed engaged. He seemed like he was going a little bit. I thought, okay, maybe we'll see a little bit more, but then penalties and stuff. So he hasn't played a ton tonight, but and that's why I would consider making the move and trying to see if he can spark something offensively. because listen, he's not a defensive player per se, and you signed him to get points. I know it's a new regime, but he's another one of those guys that you really would love to see get going.
Well, and I just think that whole line is just kind of a weird line together.
It is. Yeah.
Galchenyuk is just so inconsistent, and I like Marcus Foligno as a fourth liner. I'm not too high on him as a middle six guy, and even specifically with Zuccarello, I think Zuccarello is more of a possession, hold on to the puck kind of guy, whereas Foligno is just a straightforward, dump the puck in and get in on the forecheck, and I just those two just don't really seem to mesh well together to me.
Well, and that's why. Well, I actually wouldn't mind. And we can argue about Galchenyuk, Parise, and Zuccarello together, and move Cunnin and Eriksson with Foligno. Actually, I would do that because I think Cunnin, Foligno, and Eriksson Ek, can really bounce some bodies around, get the forecheck going, energize the team a little bit, and like I said, maybe get a dirty goal. I don't know what Dean will do here in the third.
Any predictions for this third period? Do you think the Wild are going to come out strong?
Well, yeah, I do. I think the attitude is good, so I think they have that mentality that they can come back. I think it's a different team, a different attitude. So game's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got to punch Vancouver right out of the gate.
It is over. Roma's time outside. She wants to come back in. So I'm going to let you go because I got to let her in.
Okay. You have to let her in. Yeah.
Hopefully the Wild will get us a big victory. You and I will be back. We're actually going to have Wild fan line after Thursday's game because it is a 1:30 start. It's not these late 9:30, 9:45 starts. So we'll be back with Wild fan line on Thursday after the game and probably doing these intermission stuff as well.
Yep. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Pat. Thanks for everyone for listening. Wild trailing 3-1. After 2 periods, 1 period to go here in Edmonton versus the Vancouver Canucks. Hopefully the Wild can pull off quite the comeback. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And make sure you listen to The Fan tomorrow as well, that Power Trip morning show. They're really, really good.